Hey everybody, it's me, KG, Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of lunch break. Here on Throwback Thursday, it's powered by JM&E. And of course, you're watching it on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel or on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you have Roku and you don't have BS3, get it. Download the app so you can watch shows like this, other great content like this. Or if you don't want to download the app, you can go to BS3Network.com or BS3TVLive.com. I'm going to touch on football, basketball, but I'm not going to touch on signing day for the Cougs or Rice as I record this. Just don't have time for it. School, the last few weeks, last few days before winter break, we got testing going on for STAR and you're ready for finals and all that good stuff. So just don't have time to do the signing day. But yes, I do know that Keyshawn Henderson, the top quarterback, depending on the poll you're talking about, the top player in the country, did sign with the Cougs and bigger and better going forward for the football program. But I digress. Going to talk Rockets, Astros, and SCHN. Made some news earlier Wednesday. Take a look at this. Space City Home Network, SCHN, announced today the launch of its new SCHN Plus direct-to-consumer DTC and TV Everywhere, that's a new one on me, TVE, streaming app that lets viewers watch the Houston Rockets and Houston Astros directly from their favorite devices. No cable, satellite subscription, or contract required. Available now on web browsers at SCHNplus.com, as well as on iOS, Android, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV, with more platforms coming soon. The SCHN Plus app delivers all Space City Home Network programming, including live coverage of the Houston Rockets, territory restrictions apply, and Houston Astros, behind the scenes features, and on-demand content. I got to say, when I tried it, it didn't work for me on demand. But I digress. SCHN Plus can now be purchased at the website, SCHNplus.com, for $19.99 per month or $199.99 per year plus tax. Fans who already have Space City Home Network through a participating cable, satellite, or streaming provider will be able to authenticate into the new app to access the content at no additional cost. SCHN Plus access will be limited to viewers in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and get this, and the following counties in New Mexico: Dona Ana, Eddie, Leah, Chavez, Chaves, Roosevelt, Curry, Quay, Union, and DeBaca. I'm sure you all do that before, right? Existing NBA blackout rules will still apply. For example, to fans in TV territories of San Antonio Spurs and Dallas Mavericks. The Astros and Texas Rangers share TV territory, so there are no blackout concerns for baseball, which I don't care about anyway. But yeah, for fans outside the SCHN viewing area, they would still need to subscribe to the out-of-market streaming plans offered by MLB and the NBA to watch Astros and Rockets games not aired by national rights holders. SCHN is currently available on the following cable, satellite streaming providers: Astound, AT&T Uverse, BTEL, DirecTV, DirecTV Stream, Fubo TV, iNet, Onoscope, and Xfinity/Comcast. The network's carriage agreements with AT&T, Uverse, DirecTV, and Xfinity Comcast run through 2032, providing more long-term security in a tumultuous time for regional sports networks. However, SCHN is still not available on YouTube TV and Hulu Plus Live TV, two leading streaming providers. I know Rocket fans are anxious, had wanted that app, the flexibility to watch their favorite team on the app and on the go. So there it is for you, the option to pay for it or authenticate your current subscription with your provider. So I think that's good news. Some Big 12 news. Going to touch on it here. It's a lot of news, a lot of news in Big 12. First up, men's basketball players of the week and the starting five. ISU, Iowa State's Jefferson, Arizona State's Odom. Headline, Big 12 men's basketball starting five. Iowa State's Joshua Jefferson, player, and Arizona State's Mo Odom, newcomer, earned Big 12 men's basketball weekly awards for their performances over the past week to headline the Big 12 starting five. That starting five is something new launched this season. Jefferson averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists to lead the Cyclones to a 3-0 record in his hometown of Las Vegas during the Players Era Championship. The senior opened with 17 points, 8 boards, and 3 assists in an 83-82 win over number 14 St. John's, including the free throws in the final 10 seconds that extended the ISU lead to 3. Then Jefferson had an 18-point, 10-rebound double-double against Creighton in a 78-60 victory before becoming only the second major conference player since 1996-97 to post a stat line of 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists in a 95-64 win over Syracuse. It is his 5th Big 12 weekly honor, but his first time being selected as Player of the Week after 4 Newcomer of the Week picks a year ago. Odom led the Sun Devils to the championship game of the Maui Invitational, earning all tournament honors in Hawaii, scoring an average of 26.3 points in the event. In the 87-86 quarterfinal win against Texas, always good to beat the Longhorns, whoever it is, the senior transfer from Pepperdine scored 36 points, including a 3-pointer in the final 10 seconds that stood as the game winner. The native of the Bronx, New York, followed with 26 points and 5 assists against Washington State, winning 194 in the championship game against Southern California. He scored 17 points with 4 assists. He is the 3rd Sun Devil to receive a weekly award from the Big 12 in a season plus since joining the conference. It is the first Big 12 weekly honor of his career. Baylor's Cameron Carr, Kansas's Flory Badunga, and TCU's Brock Harding rounded out the Big 12 starting five. Carr posted 21.7 points over 3 games at the Players Era event as the Bears beat Creighton and San Diego State to go 2-1. Badunga averaged 14.7 points as the Jayhawks went 3-0 at the Players Era event. Harding was named MVP of the Rady Children's Invitational after scoring an average of 17.5 points in wins over Florida and Wisconsin. Yes, TCU. After opening the season with a home loss to New Orleans, TCU has righted the ship and won over Florida and Wisconsin last week on back-to-back nights. Good for them and good for the conference. Here is a look at the starting five, week of December 1st, week ending December 1st. Mo Odom, ASU, newcomer. Cameron Carr, Baylor. Joshua Jefferson, Iowa State, player. Flory Badunga, Kansas. And Brock Harding, TCU. On the women's side, BYU's Benally, and ISU's Crux captured Big 12 Women's Basketball Week 4 awards. ISU's Iowa State's Audie Crooks, player, and BYU's Sydney Benally, freshman, garnered Big 12 Women's Basketball Awards for the fourth week of the 2025-26 season. I voted for both of them. I'm a member. I get to vote for the Women's Hoops Awards in the Big 12. I voted for both of them. That's 2 weeks in a row that I got both right. Yay! Arizona's Denia Trammell, UCF's Leah Harmon, and KU's Samaya Nichols joined the duo on the Big 12 starting five, which highlights strong performances from around the league. Crooks posted Iowa State single game records for points, 47, and field goals, 19, against Indiana to help Iowa State win the Coconut Hoops Blue Heron Division Championship. The 47 points are the most nationally in a game this season. She scored 43 like 2 weeks ago and tied for the fourth most in Big 12 history for a single game, while her 19 made field goals also tie for fourth in league history. Crooks posted her 75th and 76th straight games with double-figure scoring, the longest streak in NCAA women's, longest active streak in NCAA women's basketball. This is her second Big 12 Player of the Week honor this season, 7th of her career, and her 11th overall weekly conference accolade. Bentley recorded a career high of 18 points, with 15 coming in the second half to help BYU secure a 64-60 win over Virginia Tech. The freshman tallied a game-high 7 assists and added 2 steals and 2 rebounds. The guard from Albuquerque, New Mexico, followed up with 11 points against then number 17 Vanderbilt. She finished the week averaging 14.5 points, 5 assists, 1.5 rebounds, and a steal per game while facing 2 Power 4 opponents. Denia Trammell had a career high of 22 points against Northern Colorado while averaging 15 points on the week. Leah Harmon became the first player in UCF's history to score 5 or more field goals in each of her first 8 games with the Knights, while scoring a career high of 27 points against Rice. Samaya Nichols posted a career high of 40 points against Georgia, the most scored by a Jayhawk since 1984. Now, you would think players score 40 points in a game, in one game, she'd get some consideration for Player of the Week. In her next game, she scored 4. I'll go from 40 to 4. And here is the compilation of the Big 12 Women's Hoops starting five. Denia Trammell from Arizona, Sydney Bentley, BYU, Leah Harmon, UCF, Audie Crooks, Iowa State, and Samaya Nichols from KU. Big 12 football, Week 14 results. Last Friday, the 28th of November, Utah 31-21 over Kansas, and Arizona 23-7 over Arizona State. On Saturday, November 29th, the Cougs finished the regular season 9-3 with a 31-24 road win over Baylor. K-State 24-14 over Colorado. TCU 45-23 over Cincinnati. Texas Tech blanked West Virginia with a thumping road win, 49-0. Iowa State 20-13 over Oklahoma State, and BYU 41-21 over UCF. Setting up for BYU and Texas Tech. This Saturday, December 6th, the Big 12 Football Championship taking place, going to kick off inside Jerry World, AT&T Stadium. Kickoff at 11:07 Central Time. ABC. Joe Tessitore on the play-by-play. Jesse Palmer, the analyst. Chris Budden, silent reporter on one side, and Katie George, silent reporter on the other side. ESPN Radio, Mike Cousins, play-by-play. Max Starks, the analyst, and Mike Peasley on the sideline. Pre-game radio, Big 12 radio on TuneIn. Hey, how about this? Ari Timken and Taylor McCargy. Some championship week notes from Big 12 football. The Big 12 Conference placed 5 programs in the college football playoffs top 25 rankings this week. 3 programs ranked in the top 15, with Texas Tech 4th, BYU 11th, and Utah 15, who have all been featured in every CFP ranking this season. Arizona 18th moved up 7 spots, and Houston 21st climbed to its highest ranking of the season. Surprising, winning at Baylor, okay, but whatever. I'll take it as an alum. With 11-1 BYU and Texas Tech clinching berths, the 2025 Big 12 Football Championship will feature a pair of one-loss teams for the first time since 2019. Saturday's 2025 Big 12 Football Championship matchup between BYU and Texas Tech will feature a pair of programs making their first ever Big 12 Conference Championship appearance. And one of those schools recently joined the conference, and one of them been in it for a long, long time. Just saying. The Big 12 will crown its 6th different conference champion in 6 seasons on Saturday, which is the longest such streak among Power 4 conferences. The conference has had 12 different teams defeat an AP top 25 opponent this season, which is the most among all FBS conferences and the most in conference history. The Big 12 has 10 bowl-eligible teams this season for the first time in conference history after expanding to 14 teams in 2023 and 16 teams in 2024. Texas Tech has 11 wins by 20 points or more this season, which leads the FBS. The only other Big 12 team to tally as many such victories in a single season was Oklahoma in 2008. Among all FBS teams with just one loss this season, BYU is one of 2 teams whose only defeat came on the road against a current CFP top 10 team. Should be a good matchup. Hopefully it's a good matchup for the national TV audience this Saturday between Tech and BYU. Big 12 Conference announces key enhancements for the 2025 Big 12 Football Championship, which is sold out. Hey, 80,000, or should I say 80,000 plus, are expected to attend this Saturday's matchup. And the conference on Tuesday announced a variety of entertainment and fan enhancements for the championship game. As you know, Tech and BYU will square off 11 o'clock, 11:07, this Saturday, December 6th, inside Jerry World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, on ABC. Music and game enhancements. Award-winning country music star John Pardee, is it Pardee or Pardee, will perform at halftime of the game, joined by both schools' marching bands. The Party Pit, a new premium area for halftime, will bring fans in front of the stage for the performance. Kay Gardner, no relation to me as far as I know, who was open for Jelly Roll, Gavin Adcock, and will be touring with Jason Aldean in January, will sing the national anthem prior to kickoff on Saturday. Go ahead, Kinfolk, good for you. CEO and managing partner Penny Pennington will be participating in the game's official coin toss with captains from both teams. Fan experience. The week's activities feature Big 12 Field Day at Pete Elementary School in Arlington, as Big 12 student assets and staff spend the day with students filled with games, arts, and crafts. A Dallas Skyline Takeover will begin with a custom Big 12 football-themed light show on Reunion Tower on Friday and Saturday night. The Big 12 Boulevard Hell of a Good Fan Fest will welcome attendees for pregame entertainment at the East Plaza at AT&T Stadium from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time Saturday. Saturday will also feature Big 12 Eats, presented by Undeniably Dairy, which will offer custom school-specific themed food and beverage items for fans. This seems like the food offered at the Big 12 Basketball Media Day. Ooh, yeah, good stuff. The festivities for fans around the stadium on Saturday also include the Venmo Hall and Sports and Social Arlington at Texas Live from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central, with the Black Crows, that's a blast from the past, taking the live arena stage at 6:30 p.m. During the game, the Monster Energy student sections of the game will be recognized. One lucky fan in the stands will also have the chance to make a 35-yard field goal for $12,000 in the All-State Kick promotion. Not bad, not bad. Merchandise. Game day gear for the teams and fans will be available through Big 12 Partners Rally House and New Era. As the conference's official locker room apparel provider, New Era will provide championship hats and tees for the winning team. So what do you think about all that news from the Big 12? Not too shabby, not too shabby. Pretty good, I think. Some news and notes around the conference. Still have the football slant, but as the season ends this Saturday, officially, regular season, going to have more and more Big 12 basketball news to share on future episodes of The Takeover. But for now, here is a quick notification, promo, to let you know what BS3 TV is all about as you're watching today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break on Throwback Thursday, powered by JM&E, streaming on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review, but also streaming on Roku via the BS3 Network. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break on Throwback Thursday. The takeover is powered by JM&E. It's streaming on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review and also on Roku via the BS3 Network. First part of the show, just on Rockets, Astros, Space City Home Network app for the direct-to-consumer people, as well as a lot of Big 12 conference news, football, and basketball. But now I want to thank, as I do, and acknowledge, or first, reminding you about this, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube membership section, the All-League tier at a cost of $2.99 per month, and the All-World tier at a cost of $4.99 per month. You see what you get there. The key for both tiers is early access to new videos, including the info I put out on Monday night regarding the Cougs, men's and women's basketball, and the Big 12 on day one of the launch release of this season's net rankings. A lot of info in those 11 minutes. You need to download that, become a member, download it, view it, and learn some things you might not have known. That's one of the perks of being a member of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube family. Now, I want to acknowledge, as always, the supporters who are listed in the first year of the Houston Roundball Review Business Directory, the African Center of Wellbeing, Bayou Beat, Beat Elite Basketball, Byron Riley CPA, Pinto Leon Law Firm, Pruitt in the Heights, Star Pizza, Tejas Brewery, United Sports and Entertainment, VIP Realty, and the SCHN family. If you want to join them and with a listing in the business directory and get mentioned on this show and other shows, email advertise@thehrr.com. Once again, that email address, advertise@thehrr.com. Back to some more news and info, this time in the American Conference. As I share more info with you, I want to touch on this. I want to acknowledge this news because it's near and dear to my heart because of the woman that it's named for. The American Conference partners with Kay Yow Cancer Fund. Kay Yow is a head coach at North Carolina State for many, many years, legendary coach. She battled cancer for much of her later adult years while coaching as well. Established the Kay Yow Cancer Fund with the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. And as she told me at a Women's Final Four, before she passed away, probably 2-3 years after we met, after I met her, honestly, we have the same birth date, March 14th. And lo and behold, at the time, the same Women's Final Four, the president of the WBCA, Beth Bass, birthday is also March 14th. So the three of us share that birthday, and I think I told Coach Yow, forgot who I told first. I said, hey, well, you know, I heard blah, blah, blah. We have the same birthday. And, oh, well, you know who else? Oh, I told Beth Bass, and, you know, she said, oh, you know who else the same birthday? Coach Kay Yow. And I was like, oh, is that right? And then I mentioned to Coach Yow. She said, that's right. She's like, Kris, I knew you had a good sense about you. You're a good person. So I thanked her very much for those kind words. So this is why I want to share this news. The American Conference announced a new partnership with the Kay Yow Cancer Fund. All of us have been touched by cancer at some point in our lives. Loved ones, close friend, we've all been impacted. Someone we know, maybe you personally, are battling cancer. But the conference announced a new partnership with the Kay Yow Cancer Fund, joining the national effort to raise awareness and support in the fight against all cancers affecting women. As part of the partnership, all 13 American women's basketball programs have committed to raising a combined $25,000 during the 2025-26 season. In return, the Kay Yow Cancer Fund will invest $50,000 directly into Birmingham, Alabama, the host city of the American Women's Basketball Championship, to deliver life-saving cancer care to under-resourced women in the local community. Quote from Commissioner Tim Pernetti: "We are proud to partner with the Kay Yow Cancer Fund in its mission to eradicate cancer and uplift those affected by the disease. This partnership allows our conference and member institutions to meaningfully support a cause that touches the communities we serve," end quote. The Kay Yow Cancer Fund was founded in 2007 in honor of Hall of Fame coach Kay Yow, who spent more than 3 decades leading NC State women's basketball and became a national inspiration through her public fight against breast cancer. Since its launch, the fund has awarded millions of dollars in research grants and expanded access to cancer screenings and support services nationwide. The initiative extends beyond fundraising, emphasizing community impact through Play 4K game activations, direct support for women battling cancer, and local investments designed to provide hope and healing. Fans are invited to donate to the Americans campaign throughout the entire women's basketball regular season. Supporters may choose a specific American program to contribute to and track team-by-team progress through the season leaderboard. To donate to the Kay Yow Cancer Fund, please visit charity, CHARITY, pledgeit, PLEDGEIT.org/American. Charity.pledgeit.org/American. Now, on the court news, North Texas's Stevenson, Tulsa's Lawal earned weekly honors. The American Conference has announced the weekly men's basketball honors for the fourth week of the regular season. Player of the Week, Jashawn Stevenson, sophomore guard from North Texas. Stevenson helped lead the Mean Green to a pair of victories, averaging 24.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Against Eastern Washington on Tuesday, the sophomore posted 26 points and 6 rebounds, while on Sunday, against Prairie View A&M, the guard had 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, leading the Mean Green to a come-from-behind win over Prairie View. PV had them, and then they didn't, unfortunately. Freshman of the Week, Jalen Lawal from Tulsa, averaged 9.5 points and helped Tulsa win the Acrisure Holiday Invitational with wins over San Jose State and Northern Iowa. He scored 7 points and grabbed three rebounds against San Jose State, and then scored a career-high 12 points in the championship game again over Northern Iowa, the first in-season tournament championship for Tulsa since 2002. Wow. Okay. Good for the Golden Hurricane. Kudos. On women's side, South Florida's Tomasika, Tulane's Marshall earned women's basketball weekly honors. The American Conference announced winners of the league's weekly Women's Hoops Award for the week ending Sunday, November 30th. Player of the Week, Raina Tomasika. I need to read the pronunciation, do better. South Florida sophomore guard, led the Bulls to wins over Harvard and New Orleans, averaging 17.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game, while shooting 50% from the floor. Against New Orleans, the sophomore scored 21 points and dished out 4 assists. Freshman of the Week, again, Michaela Marshall, guard from Tulane, led the Green Wave in scoring, averaging 19 points per game while grabbing 6 rebounds per game. Her 21 points in the game against Boise State marked a new career high for the freshman. She's a freshman. Every career high she sets this year will be a new career high. Just saying, that kind of note regarding freshmen is kind of redundant to me. But I digress. Football, Week 14 results in the American. Memphis did not end the season well. On the 27th, Thanksgiving, they lost at home to Navy 28-17. Friday, the 28th, North Texas with a 52-25 win over Temple. And then Saturday, 29th, East Carolina 42-3 win at Florida Atlantic. UAB 31-24 win at Tulsa. Army 27-24 win at UTSA. South Florida, 52, Rice 3, ending Rice's bowl hopes. Owls finished the season with 5 wins. And then Tulane with a 27-zip shutout of Charlotte. The American Conference Football Championship Week notes. This Friday night, North Texas, 11-1 overall, 7-1 in conference. At Tulane, 10-2, 7-1 in conference. Kicking off 7 o'clock Central on ABC. Tulane leads the series 3-zip. The last meeting, October 26, 2024. Tulane won that game 45-37. Tulane moved up 4 spots to number 20 in the latest college football playoff rankings, while North Texas made their debut in the rankings at number 24. Both teams lost their head coaches to SEC programs Sunday. The Mean Green are tabbed number 20 in both the AP Top 25 and the Coaches Poll, while the Green Wave are number 21 in both polls. Navy is ranked number 23 in the AP poll and number 25 in the Coaches Poll. 8 American squads are bowl eligible, including Army, East Carolina, Memphis, Navy, North Texas, South Florida, UTSA, and Tulane. The American is one of 4 FBS conferences that has at least 4 teams with 9 or more wins on the season, alongside the Big 10, Big 12, and SEC. Notice I did not say ACC. North Texas has 11 wins, Tulane has 10, and Navy and South Florida both have 9. The American ranks 4th among NCAA FBS conferences in non-conference winning percentage through 14 weeks of the season, behind Big 10, Big 12, and SEC, ahead of the ACC. Commissioner Jim Phillips. SWAC news, Southwestern Athletic Conference news. The Southwestern Athletic Conference has tabbed Alabama A&M's Kentavious Dozier, Alabama State's Ajon Anderson, and Mississippi Valley State's Michael James for SWAC Men's Basketball Weekly Awards for week ending December 3rd. The Player of the Week, Kentavious Dozier, paced the Alabama A&M Bulldogs offense in games against Clemson and Coastal Carolina last week. He averaged 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game and shot 12 for 24 from the floor. The Impact Player of the Week award goes to Ajon Anderson, who had an impressive performance for Alabama State during the Hornets' non-conference outing versus New Mexico, tallying a game-high 30 points. Newcomer award goes to Michael James, who was 10 of 15 in field goal attempts en route to a game-high 32 points for Valley in 33 minutes of play. Women's side, the SWAC has tabbed, and all 3 ladies are Jackson State players. The SWAC has tabbed Jackson State's Rima Pagis, Leanya Massanat, and Michaela Brown for SWAC Women's Basketball Weekly Awards for the week ending December 3rd. Player of the Week, Rima Pagis shined for the Tigers, scoring in double figures against Coastal Carolina and Gardner-Webb. She registered 16 points and 7 rebounds against Coastal Carolina, and another 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists against Gardner-Webb. Impact Player of the Week, Massanat earned Impact Player of the Week honors after helping the Tigers to a win over Gardner-Webb. She scored 17 points in the win and added 6 rebounds and 4 assists to her stat line. And then Michaela Brown was tabbed SWAC Newcomer of the Week after 2 double-figure scoring performances and an impressive defensive showing. She recorded 14 points and 7 rebounds against Coastal Carolina and 13 points and 8 rebounds against Gardner-Webb. Week 14 results in SWAC football, light as the season wound down for most everybody, except a handful of teams. Thanksgiving, the Turkey Day Classic, Alabama State 58-21 win over Tuskegee. Southern on November 29th, the Bayou Classic. 28-27 over Grambling inside the Superdome. That is Southern's first SWAC win this season. They came into that game with 0 wins in the SWAC, but they end the season with a win over their rival in the Bayou Classic, 28-27. And not to be outdone, Mississippi Valley State, 35-31 over Florida A&M to pick up Valley's one SWAC win this season. What are the fan bases at FAMU and Grambling thinking? Golly, man, we lost to teams who had no wins before they faced us. Gee whiz. But whatever. But also announced, leaked, rumored before Saturday the 29th, Southern hired Marshall Faulk, Hall of Fame running back, at the press conference on Monday. This was December 1st. So yes, Marshall Faulk is the new head coach of the Southern Jaguars football program. But this Saturday, December 6th, Prairie View A&M, 9-3 overall, 7-1 in the SWAC. Heading to Jackson, Mississippi to face the Tigers, JSU, 9-2 overall, 7-1 in the SWAC. In the 2025 SWAC championship game, 1 o'clock Central on ESPN2. Should be a good one. And I'm going to do this. My colleagues, my brothers, the Dean of HBCU Sports, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, Charles Bishop, Mike, AD, Brian, Wilton Jackson are part of the HBCU, inside the HBCU Sports Lab, the Dr. Cavils inside the HBCU Sports Lab, which I produced the show, the audio for the show during football season on Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. They do a great job talking football, talking HBCU sports, sharing their insight, their opinions, their knowledge, their connections, great interviews. They've done a great job so far this week discussing the PV Prairie View versus Jackson State football matchup this Saturday. So I encourage you, if you haven't already checked out, have you already seen Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, do yourself a favor. Go to YouTube. You can Google Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, and I'm proud to say I was smart enough to add him to what was a duo with what was the initial KG and Fifth Ward Wildcat podcast years ago, became the KG, Fifth Ward Wildcat, and Doc podcast trio. I went my way in podcasting. Doc went his way in podcasting. The Fifth Ward Wildcat went his way due to health issues. May he rest in peace. Jerry passed away in January of this year. But it just does my heart so much pride and to see Doc and what he's done with the show, with the lab, and Charles Bishop. Charles was a guest on the show. Charles is now, as well as doing the show, he's now doing TV work for football games and basketball games, baseball games for the conference, for SWAC TV. He's doing big things. It's just great to see my friends and colleagues accomplishing their dreams, their hard work paying off. So again, salute to them. Watch the game this Saturday between Prairie View and Jackson State on ESPN2, 1 o'clock Central. hopefully that's a good matchup, great game. So you can watch the Big 12 game starting at 11, and then switch over at 1 o'clock. You can take a look at Prairie View and Jackson State on ESPN2. Closing moments of this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break. Gotta remind everyone, if you haven't already, please, by all means, get you some merch, some Houston Roundball Review merch. New Once a Coug, Always a Coug sweatshirts, hoodies, and pants. Miss Wanda Polk was the first to order her Once a Coug sweatshirt. It arrived yesterday. So join her and get your merch and support it. If you don't want that, buy a Houston Roundball Review mug. Buy a Houston Roundball Review sweatshirt. Buy a Houston Roundball Review hoodie. Scan that QR code on the screen and treat yourself to a holiday gift, as well as support the Houston Roundball Review. That will wrap it up on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break, Throwback Thursday style. I am KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. As always, thanks to my man AJ Jones for giving me this platform and being in the crew over at BS3 to share my info and insight and opinions with you guys here on the Takeover as part of the BS3 Network family. Again, if you have Roku, download the BS3 app. Join me, Andy, Dayon, and Fluff this Saturday night after the Houston Cougars men's team faces Florida State inside Toyota Center downtown. The game will stream on Peacock, but Andy and I have been approved with credentials to be at the game, to attend the game in person. Good thing, because I don't have Peacock. But after the game, we will have the next edition of the Let's Rage Cougs post-game show. You can watch that here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Thank you as always for your time and interest. If you haven't already supported the Houston Roundball Review, please do so. Scan that QR code and become a member of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube family, or buy some merch. You have different ways to show your support of the Houston Roundball Review. I am KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. You know that. If you don't, this is also for you. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, please take care. Peace.